Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Alchemist and Oracle, a space where we engage in spiritualized conversations. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, cold, yeah. Hi,
That's even understanding. Supposedly make you crack up laughing, inspire transformation. You know what? Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Nicole, the Oracle, and I don't know.
y'all.
I don't know. She's laughing.
Oh, Lord. Oh, this is a great way to start the video. Laugh with me, y'all. I can't
Yeah.
know what's coming
This
from my
is that's
What's
Warrioress, Ardeshir, RN, the Alchemist.
up, y'all?
Welcome to the channel. For those of you that have subscribed, thank you so much. Welcome back. Those of you that are new to
Appreciate
our channel, welcome. We hope that you will subscribe and
it.
partake
Please
in
do.
our conversations.
And
So
please comment
today,
too, y'all.
yes, I love comments. We love comments.
Yeah, comments is cool because we want to hear you. We
Yes,
want to hear your take, baby. Hear what you think. Because obviously what we're gonna be talking about today, I am in the very essence of this.
clearly. So today we're talking about authenticity. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about it, and yeah, you threw me with the laughing. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, sometimes it have to be that way. It's all good.
So why are we having this conversation from your
Because it
point of
always
view?
comes up if it's in the chairs in the room, right?
Yeah.
So it's come up. I mean, we're going through a lot today, right? And I mean, even going back to some old school adjectives, right, of how we were supposed to be, how we were supposed to walk in this world. From female to male, and I get to have these conversations out in public. I don't hesitate anymore, especially when it comes to our guys and how supposed to be. I mean, there's one song. Oh God, it's an old school song. Talk about if somebody they walk that way, they gotta be. I'm like, well, that ain't necessarily true. Anyway, so I don't know that song came up, and I forgot the name of it. It's maybe we'll throw it in the chat or something. But anyway, authenticity, I think it is huge. Because what I'm gonna get you with my notes here, gonna read out the definition, spiritually speaking, says spiritual alchemist, the oracle. So this is the perspective we're coming from. And coming from that is authentic in of its own right. So before I continue to get in here, I'm just gonna come to you. I got a couple of things I want to share with you. One is kind of a little poetic. It ain't by me. I edited a little bit, but it ain't by nobody, but I kind of worked with it, right? So here, authenticity from a spiritual perspective. Okay, that's how we like to come from, right? So spiritually speaking, authenticity
I'm loving your energy right now.
is, yeah, thank you, man. Thank. Is the pure alignment between your soul's truth and the way you live, speak, and move in this world. Okay? It's when your outer expression begins to mirror your inner knowing. Okay? All this here. When you no longer shape shift to please, perform, or protect, but instead remember who you are beneath the layers of conditioning, fear, and expectations. And domestication is conditioning. Okay? So authenticity is not perfection. And I've done some stuff around that. I still have to finish up. I'm sorry. It's presence on my teacher. It's courage. It's the courage to be transparent even when it feels vulnerable. To honor your intuition. That's interesting. Even when logic and others disagree. Oh, yeah, that conversation.
Mm.
To walk your path even when it's not the most traveled one. Know about that one. Say take the path less traveled, right? It ain't the easy road. but it's the road that grows you the most and gets you to set into your authentic path or your journey around. So, with that said, in these spiritual terms, authenticity is your soul in motion, the divine expressing yourself uniquely through you. It is the sacred act of embodying your truth moment by moment without needing to justify and prove it. And I know a lot of us that had to justify, we automatically justify our existence to people and what we do. We don't need to do that. We ain't got shit to prove. Excuse the expression, but it's authentically came out that way. Okay. So when you are authentic, you become the living prayer, a vessel for which spirit can flow freely. Now, okay. Now check this out. I think this is going to hit everything in that, and then I'm going to come back to you. So stay with me, people. Stay with me. Now check this out. So here I want you to listen to this and see if this don't move you, shake you. So this is a little kind of poetic thing here. I got my hands on. Tapped it a little bit. Authenticity is the quiet return to your original self. The one that existed before the world told you who to be. Now, we've heard this before from somebody we love dearly, right? Before the world told you who to be. That is really key. Spiritually, it is the alignment between your soul's truth and your daily expression. You get this so deeply. It's when your words, actions, and energy all move in harmony. That's the word I chose. With your divine heartbeat. Authenticity is not about rebellion or perfection. And perfection is too deep. Okay. It's about remembrance. Remembering who you are when no one is watching. Just like they say, dance when nobody's watching, just be. I don't care how you look, just do it, right? There used to be a thing with it, but we don't care, just do it, right? When no one is applauding, when it's just you and the divine that resides within you. It is the courage to stand in your truth, even when the truth shakes the ground beneath you. It is to let go of the mask, which I underlined it, and the roles. And wore a numerous amount of masks. I'm surprised I can hold my head up. My neck should have been hurting. It do sometimes. To release the need to be understood by everyone. And I know I've been misunderstood. Some of it, we know this. Instead, be deeply known by the God, creator, source, universe within you. To live authentically is to become a clear channel for spirit. Your life becomes a prayer in motion. Your voice becomes vibration. Your choices become offerings to the world. When you walk in authenticity, you stop chasing purpose because you become it. You stop searching for light because you embody it. I'm going to read that again. When you walk in authenticity, you stop chasing purpose because you become it. You stop searching for light because you embody it. Authenticity is sacred alignment. Your soul saying, I am home. Boy, that was a death. So now the spiritual essence. The spiritual essence. Authenticity isn't about being real. Spiritually is about being true to your soul. Authenticity is when your outer world starts reflecting your inner truth. It's when your words, choices are huge because we have a choice to choose, your energy all begin to move in harmony with your divine essence. See, harmony then came up again. So it's not about being perfected, what comes up again. It's about remembering. So when you're remembering who you are beneath the noise, beneath the expectation, like everything that's going on in the world, beneath the roles you have had to play just to survive. Oh, about survival, like a mug, right? Authenticity is in sacred alignment. It's the moment your soul whispers again, I am home. Mm. When you walk authentically, wait a minute, something happened. That's okay. We keep moving. So when life turns into a living prayer, or reflections of spirit flowing through you effortlessly, naturally, and powerfully. So with this being said, my dear, where Nick Newer's love, you often speak about the soul's journey and how authenticity opens the channel for divine guidance. How would you share how spirit reveals authenticity in your messages from your oracle perspective? With all that.
Wait, you want me to follow up after that?
You got this.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, I was taking notes. I took notes. Um,
I heard
okay.
that.
So I agree with everything you said. So beautifully. Um, Authenticity, like I think you said it, like authenticity isn't about being real, it's about being true.
Yeah,
Um,
or perfect.
I feel like too, because I wrote this down as well to kind of discuss about how people can confuse authenticity with rebellion
Mm, mm,
or
mm,
being brutally honest.
mm, mm.
And
Okay.
I think it's deeper than that because you can, from your perspective, you can be like, I'm being brutally honest, I'm being rebellious, but is that really a true expression of you? Would you do you feel comfortable in that expression? It's more about living in harmony with your natural rhythm.
Right, your natural beingness, which and matter of fact, we just had some discussion yesterday and meaningful conversation based off Baha teachings. It's with this one question that's kind of like this, like you telling somebody the truth. I really need to grab it because it's right there. Um, which is a question that came up about saying your piece. Oh heck, I'm gonna grab it because I can.
Just because you feel hmm,
And hold on, how we talked about this? Where is this question? Which is the expression about kindness and and what comes from um your naturalness, about saying your piece and not caring about what nobody thinks. That's not it. So
but I don't think that's authenticity because I think if you're your authentic expression, like you were saying, you're connected to your soul. Your soul
mhm,
is not going to tear people apart verbally.
that's correct. Yes,
Yes, I do believe
that right there.
that you can be honest in stating the facts. I think when you shame people for like the fact that I even have to have this conversation with you, that's where it's like, okay, what are we doing here?
Yes,
Why are we doing
yes.
it in this way?
That's where the ego
Um,
plays the part.
yeah. So
Period.
authenticity is about like that being in harmony with your natural rhythm and how you get grounded in that is being that authentic expression, that embodiment, because it puts you back into that natural rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be specific to you because it's your own timing, because it's your body's truth, and your body speaks to you differently than, like, your body speaks differently to you than it does to me. And I think that on an energetic level, that's how I would define authenticity, is it's your own natural rhythm, your own timing, and your body's truth.
Well, that's it. It's about going back to the divine essence of you before the world got in the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and I tell you, people, I'm telling you, you may get tired of hearing this, but you need to go back. And so, like I said, I look at children as a perfect example because we all were that or are that. And I think that, like I was saying, my godson's very intelligent, that he would be listening to this channel. I think he subscribed, but he will be in the essence of understanding your natural nature. And then what I realize is that as parents, sometimes y'all can take this or leave it, but this is how, because there's more tools now than ever was before, because most parents and ours just did what they knew to be instead of allowing and getting for a kid is to see who they are, watch them, observe them, allow, and you find their energy to go back is that they come out with the natural expression and let you know what they like, who they are, and that, and we're curious beings coming out because we're in a world that we don't really know, and we get indoctrinated. It always says by the people who raise us, by the people we've been around, kids and students wanting to be liked, all these different things, and sometimes everybody just ain't gonna like you. And I was supposed to have been a likable by everybody, but no matter how smart how I did that, people take offense to that or just the happy-go-lucky nature. And that's unfortunate, but it is just that. As kids, we go about and we get look at the authenticity when we look at the different races and complexion. Mostly kids, they just embrace each other.
Yeah,
They
they
don't
don't
know
care
any
about
different
that
until
stuff.
they taught some kind
Yeah.
of way. Hmm?
Yeah, they don't care about that type of stuff.
They're just
Not
authentically
on that
just friendly,
level.
trying to
Yeah.
figure. Yeah,
Like, oh, your skin is
they're
darker than mine. Want to go play on the slide? Like, literally, that's,
yeah. And sometimes they might recognize that, but I mean, I don't even remember even recognizing that. And I went back and looked at some of my elementary school pictures, and I was like, because I had some issues with bullying, but then I had to take care of it. But it forget you, it was.
you slid that in, not me.
I ain't do what you know about, but I had to go back and I had to look at what was the diversity in our complexions because it's like, was it my complexion that was the problem? Was it this that was the problem? And I'm like, well, there was a mixture of us. So I'm like, well, no, it must have just been me. So I
Your
just,
authenticity.
yeah. And so, oh my God. So, I mean, I literally did do that. And I'm like, it was a prep of us. We are a multi-collective race, amongst many others. I mean, but the essence of that and what I read, you can pick up from children just playing. I mean, I went through one of the places that I normally cut through when I tried, depending on where I'm at, to go get my car washed. And I saw this exact example of what I'm talking about of several mixed of, I guess they just kicking it. I mean, they just kicking it, not with a care, just in great play and love with one another. Um, just being their natural selves until they get indoctrinated with the BS of the world. So, I mean, when you have like stomach, my stomach is a guiding force for me. Okay. So when there's something that goes on, or even making choices, because it mentioned that, in the readings, right? Or what I shared, about choices. So when you make something or something that is not in alignment or in the natural flow, I remember signing these papers, and my stomach was hurting. And I probably recognize it. You talk about ignoring intuition or ignoring certain things in that nature, which is
Mhm.
the natural flow of the authenticness of you, is that we get signs. Some people's head hurts. Some people's chest hurt. And it ain't because nothing going on. It's just different areas of different outcome of different people's bodies that's giving them a sign. My stomach is my guiding force. It's like making a turn or driving. I use the examples of being guided. And I think I might have shared one other of when something tells you to go something, that natural intuition ability is that authentic you telling you to avoid something. You don't have to know. And sometimes we dismiss it, still dismiss it, still a work in progress, everyday work in progress, to stand in the truth of who you are. The truth of the natures and how you walk in the world, how you move, how you even drive behind the wheel of a car. Your kindness, your gentleness, your this, your that. When a kid comes out and holds it, look at mothers like and has this connection, eye connection, and you have to be cared for until you don't have to be totally cared for, you know? And we have to do that for ourselves. It's that transformation, the epitome of alchemy, the epitome of alchemy. And so you have to recognize, and awareness is the other key of being aware of you and your authenticity. And you have to do the work, because depending on what your age category is, how long you've been living in this word, decades or not, the younger the better. So you don't have to go through what half of us then went through. I
Mm,
let your ego guide you through. Just
mm,
saying. So you can stand in your authenticity earlier in your life, so you don't get too indoctrinated with the BS of the world, because that's what it is. Who says you have to be this way, that way, that way? Who says you got to walk this walk? Well, you walk the way you walk. You stand the way you stand. You present the way you present. Long as it's the trueness of you. Masks suck. Masks suck. Except for Halloween, but Halloween, that's temporary. And two, it's external. It ain't internal. Internal masks suck. They suck. To
even
wear to protect.
even the external ones we put on,
Yeah,
both of
yeah.
them, I mean, they just aren't fun to wear. They're not comfortable.
No. And that energy affects us even internally, physically, mentally. It just does it on all levels. There's another generation true to be them, then there's still, I don't think I ought to be wild crazy. There's no way. Now, there's only maybe two. Has it been one time? Well, it was fun standing on top of a bar table dancing. Why I went there, I don't know, but it was fun. It was something that you normally wouldn't do because of what other people might think. But I wasn't up there by myself. So it was cool. And even if I was just in my essence in the moment, you know, you know, showing out. It was cool. So that's something to do every day. But in the moment it was a good thing. And it was fun. And yeah, that, everybody brought it up. That's kind of funny. How things come up. So, I mean, oh my God, I mean, it's just, it's like just flowing, I don't know, maybe I use a plane when there ain't no turbulence, you just in motion. Like I said, soul in motion, you know? man, it's real heavy right now. So it's so good to just be free. Because one of my values is freedom. And freedom, I think, is a natural part of what everybody wants to feel. And I think it was a natural part of even coming to work because you come in the world by yourself. Even twins, they may come in the world, but one comes before the other one come out, you know? So you have your own free expression to sit in the essence and trueness of you. Hmm. What you say? What you think?
Are you asking me or the people?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh,
They can comment at the bottom later.
I
They
thought you
choose.
were pausing for.
Well,
Um,
I miss a thought. It was a thought process. It was a moment to
I could
think.
tell. I thought you're still in the moment right now as we speak.
Hmm. I throw it over your way to interject on that take because I mean it's just like walking in nature, right? You're just you. It's you in the world. If you don't have the music, now the one thing I'm gonna do that I used to do when I didn't feel comfortable putting headphones on is no headphones, and you're totally just aware of the sky, you're aware of anything that's flying by. Um, you take in certain essence and smells, and there's one house where I walk where all the birds go.
Hmm.
See, you see, cardinals are attracted. The blue jays are there. I haven't seen them in a minute because I went the other way, but and then that path that I took where I saw the woodpecker, I didn't have anything on my ears when I took that path. I don't think. I might have been talking to somebody on the phone at the time, but I was still very in tune, which was in my very much in my authenticity when I chose to walk that, and it kept the shade off because it was very hot. It was like 100 degrees that day. Yeah, it was crazy that day. So, yeah, I'm done with that take for the moment anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to add to that. I think you expressed it wonderfully so. That's my take.
When I go back and I look, this is being hella vulnerable. I go back and I look at how I was as a child. So in often in the nature of me, I was a very active young girl. Playing every essence of a sport that just was. I mean, I had that energy. I remember when I was stationed not too far from here. And my great grandmother's sister said something to me. She was a sweetie pie. I wish I could have got to spend more time with her. But she said, you was a hyper child. I said, no, I just had a lot of energy. And so we like to put labels on kids who are just there. And I thank God because I don't believe my mother would have gave me any real, but I'm just like, no, you gonna calm my energy down, and then that natural just giftedness and being and learning and being amongst how we just were. There's some people, and depending on if you have siblings or that, they talk it in, but if they have no input in it, we just are, you know. We have to have to know that it's okay to stand in the truth of who you are, not seeking all the other things, not seeking any validation from the outside external world.
Mm.
You have to, and depending on how long you've been aware, you have to sit and still, as the ego would tell you, no, I know it's still a huge battle. There's several things that I just, he went back to some of my training. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, like, oh, but it's okay. So that is key. And once we're not doing that and we just seek the essence and true nature of the divine to give us breath, then you're free. You are free. You are free. You're free to walk the path that was designed for you. Not that it was easy. Even doing what I did, my mother baptizing me and protecting me, and I've done it. I did the triple thing, right? Children of three. But the thought was that everything would just be hunky dory. But no, it's the test of freeing yourself from the indoctrination of the world, the domestication of it. The freedom just to speak freely here, just to speak the truth, to get you to have aha moments so you don't continue to, what's the word I want to use? Continue to feel bound in your own body, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, that. So from your perspective, and it's all about it's and not only being authentic, you grow, you continue to learn and grow and learn who you are. Growth is a process. People think age. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I'll be old to 100. So yeah, that's just my soul take.
I'm never going to be old. That's my take.
Well, that's true.
We're
At
on,
least
we're
at least
always going to
not
be old.
older, but not based upon
We're always
society
going to be,
standards.
we're always going to be older. I mean, think about when you're born,
Yeah,
then a minute passed, guess what? You're older than when you were
that's true.
born. So we're always going to be older at an older state.
But I mean,
Don't get caught in it.
yeah, in the way that the world says, "Oh, you old at this and that." I'm like, you don't know me or my spirit. I'm still
Like,
trying to.
yes, I am old. And what's your point?
Yeah,
That's the rebel in me. Like, what's your point?
it's just like
That mean?
people 30. It's just like 30 say, "Oh, you old at 30." I'm like, who told you that? Who told you
You
that?
are, though. But
You're
the thing is,
older.
like, you are, and what?
But people have a thing, oh, I'm so old. Oh my God, I wasn't thinking that when I turned 30.
But why are they thinking that, though? Why is that such a focus away from?
Because the world puts so
Because
much
it's like
on age.
it's like you are, but it's a fact. You are older. You are old compared to someone that's just born.
Yeah, well,
But
yeah,
then guess what? You're not older. You're not old compared to someone that's like in their 70s, 80s, or 90s.
true that. Yeah, I feel you all the way.
I just feel like we have to be careful what we lean into the narratives around because it dishonors our authenticity, right? It
Yes,
doesn't matter,
very true.
right? It doesn't matter. There are things, those things, they don't matter. We can't do anything about it. So, what can you do with it? That's how you lean
You
into your
shift
authenticity of like, okay, yeah, I'm older. I'm 30 and I feel old comparatively to what it was like in my 20s. Okay, great. How can you use that to lean into being more authentically who you are in your 30s comparatively to
Where
when
you were
you're
in
in
your
your
20s.
20s, because
Yeah,
your authentic expression is always outwardly expressing differently from your the experiences that you live and how you're living in your purpose
hmm
as
hmm
well. And kind of what you were saying about what did you say about it was something about you stop chasing your purpose. You stop
Yeah,
searching for light because you embody it. So it's like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
okay, I'm
yeah.
older, I'm old. All right, those are all true, but I'm also who I am.
Yeah, you stop chasing your purpose because you become it. Once you become it, it manifests.
You stop
You
getting
stop
caught into
searching for
the
light.
labels. Yeah,
Yeah.
the labels don't matter. You don't care about the labels.
So it's
Those are
about,
always going to be there.
yeah, it's about shifting and alchemizing the internal narrative. So it's not like there in your brain. So you have the control to shift that narrative, in your mind, because it's coming from a place outside of yourself. What other people are saying, everything around you, this, that, and the other, with you just not feeling the coolness of being 30 or having lived to be 30, 35, 40.
I always remember, I'm always, so when I was in high school, I was 16 years old and we went on a field trip and we would go on these field trips that we didn't enjoy going on because it meant more work. We had to write papers and things like that on top of our work that we already had to do. So we were like, yeah, field trips are not fun. It's more work. But we were on a field trip. I remember we all got on the bus and it was a small group of us at that time. And everyone knew of each other. And yeah, we had different groups. But I will always remember at the end of that field trip, um, one of us did not come back.
Mm.
And so I always have these frame of references around getting older
hmm
and remembering the people that don't know what that's like. Like she died
Yeah,
when she was 16 on a field
yeah,
trip. Her family,
yeah.
and then I lost like my best friend in high school. She didn't make it to 40. She didn't make it to 35.
That's interesting. We lost somebody in middle school.
So it's just like I look at aging very differently
Yeah.
because I'm remembered of the people that don't even like the audacity to say like, oh my God, I'm older. Life is like, it's like, no. And that's why a lot of people, when they lose someone really close to them,
hmm
that empowers them to like, you know what, I'm going to live my life and I'm going to live it for myself. And a lot of times they say, I'm going to live it for them,
Unapologetically. Yeah.
but it's like, I think sometimes they help keep things in perspective
hmm
of like I'm still here and I'm able to live my life and this other person isn't.
Well, it's just like, well, that brings up an interesting thing that just came to me about being a veteran and listening to some of my male counterparts who have seen in action them losing
Mm,
one
yeah.
of their buddies. And they have what we call survivor's guilt, I believe it is.
Yeah, survivor's guilt, remorse.
And my soul has come to tell them through them that they want you to live your best life. What if it was you and it wasn't them? Would you want them to feel that way? Um, and no, they're still around, but to live your best life. And if one of them saved your life, they definitely, I mean, on all aspects, are you to live your best life because you're still here.
Yeah.
And honor, but you have to honor you first.
You do.
You have to honor you first.
You really, really do.
You have to shift that dynamic. You have to, in your own mind, shift that dynamic. So I try to give, and I don't do it. It's just on the spur of the moment. And the same thing I say, I don't say the same thing. But I say that I know for a fact, energetically and spiritually, so that your buddy, your comrade, wants you to live your best life because you're still here. From the fact that we serve doing what we do when we're serving and protecting and defending. So for anybody, any vets out there hearing this is for you too. Love you. Air Force, baby. So to all my services, we joke around a lot with one another, but when it comes down to it, we be there for each other no matter what. And regardless of the experience I have had, there's still some people who showed up for me.
The community is unlike any other. It's hard to explain it to people who are part of that community
Yeah, I know.
because there's so much the sacrifice. Like you see the sacrifice and the levels of sacrifice, the sacrifice of your life that come and how it like leaks into and impacts your family. It's just
it's a natural nature.
yeah.
It's a natural nature as well. It's a different one. Oh, wow. I was gonna say something. It is hard to explain, and if you're a civilian, I had to share something. I might have already. I'm not gonna really get into detailed, but I had to correct someone about one of our people in another state in reference to what was being said. I said, you have no idea. We're not really liked, but you have no idea what some would do to take us out. And there was something about what some was said about a former politician who was a vet, the era that they served in, and what people assume that they have no clue about. Um, in reference to enemy and how they would want to take you out. And they will use any means necessary because they know what we value um, in reference to humans. Um, and I'm trying to, yeah, say so much. So, I have said, and I found out, so I'm going to say this just in this moment to help anyone who meets a veteran and in your beingness and in your authenticity who really cares and wants to share and thank us for our service. For our veterans, our Vietnam veterans, welcome them home. Say welcome home because they were not welcome. And half of them were drafted over there. A majority of them were drafted.
Yeah,
And they went for the call that some of them didn't even know what they were running into. Okay? So welcome home. Tell them welcome home. For any vets, I know you said thank you and I appreciate it. Ask us if we all right. Ask us if we all right.
the answer is probably going to be no.
And thank you. Yeah, some would say
I
no, but
mean,
we good.
realistically, it's like but they're not gonna.
But
I
we're
think,
good. We handling it.
but
It's
even
like,
that's the conditioning. There, listen. I think this is
yes,
a whole nother conversation too.
it is.
Talking
Yeah,
about the PTSD that comes from forced into war,
yeah, agreed.
and um, there's a really good book that a lot of people talk about in the healing community called "The Body Keeps the Score."
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
thing about this this particular book and how it relates to what we're talking about is the person that wrote the book worked a lot with war vets from
Mhm.
like the Vietnam, the Korean War, and the stories that he shares
Mhm.
around the trauma that these veterans experienced is just like
I know about that book.
mind
Yeah,
boggling. Have you read
yeah.
it?
I have not. I am aware of it, and
Oh
thank you
my,
for bringing that
fair
back up.
fair warning because I did not know that that was what was going to be. I didn't know it was framed from that perspective.
Uh-huh.
And if you are a vet, it may trigger you
Uh-huh.
because of the stories that are shared in the book. I also
Uh-huh.
feel like if you are someone that is challenged in understanding what someone that goes to war or that's part of any type of organization in the military, let's just say that
Uh-huh.
reading that book and the stories, it can help you understand the trauma,
Yeah.
why the trauma shows up in that way. Because it's really hard for people to understand what it's like to go to war
Yeah.
if you aren't deeply allowing them to express the experiences. And I realize a lot of people aren't comfortable doing that because there's some deep woundings.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some
It takes
deep
you, it
there's
takes you
some
away
deep
from
trauma, some
your
deep
authentic
trauma.
self too.
It
Yeah.
does. And but it's a really good read. The body keeps the score
It does.
because
It
it
does
goes
keep.
back to like, how I was saying, like your body's truth.
Yeah.
And if you have so much trauma that you're dealing with and you were pushed into doing things that were not your authentic self, like going to war, I don't think that's anyone's authentic expression.
Oh no, it's not.
To like go in and to look at someone, because one of the conditioning, and I'm sure you know this, the conditioning is when you're at war, if they're not on this side, they're the enemy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you look at everybody, men, women, and children, they're all the enemy.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that can arm you in such a way that you have to put a mask on in some way to be that soldier that is not ever going to be your authentic expression on a soul level.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not meant to express war. And that's why there's so much PTSD and so much trauma because we are pushed into these experiences, these conditionings that before we even enter the experience, like going to boot camp, they condition you in order to be able to show up at the front line. So there's
Yeah.
a need to get really clear on how your body is communicating and expressing to you, understanding what it is and supporting yourself in a way that it's like, you know what? I feel this way and I realize that's not really that's not really me. So I think
Yeah.
a lot of times we think parts of who we are who we are. And our body, if your body's responding in a way like you kind of saying like achiness in your belly, like,
Mhm.
you start like, oh man, your nose starts itching, your eye starts twitching, like those are your body saying like, hey, this
That's
might
right.
not be the best place for us, or this might not be the best decision. Listen to
That's
your
right.
body.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
always going to tell you like when you're
Tell you the truth.
adjusting the alignment of your authentic self. Your body's going to tell you like, hey, no,
This
this
ain't the right move.
might
Yeah.
not be the most thing to attune to, but hey, if you do it, we gonna be here for you because we ain't got no choice. But there's gonna be some
Some
repercussions.
repercussions. Oh, there's gonna be some repercussions.
Your body's gonna be like, okay,
Some repercussions. I know that. I know that.
okay.
Yeah, I think like my state, I am so grateful for them I am so honored to actually be a vet here. Um, it's so cool. It's so cool. I mean, I just walk in how I walk and just did what I did, and I had some, like you said, I've had some experiences that hurts a lot. So,
I know you
um,
have. Anyone that's in the military has not, I don't know one person that has been in the military that, okay, that has enlisted. Because there's some people that enlisted that didn't even make it anywhere. They were like, oh yeah, they barely made it out of boot camp, right?
if there's some that
Um,
definitely
there's some
left
that didn't
boot
even
camp,
make it to boot camp. But there's a level of,
it's not for everybody. That's for darn sure.
I don't think it's for anybody, right?
Well, in reality, when you put it, well, that's true.
Come
That's
on
true.
now, we're spiritual
Yeah, yeah,
beings
yeah.
is not for anybody.
I guess it's because I have, and I know all of us that have, but
But it's all okay too, right?
in real,
I don't
yeah.
want to judge. I have to say this.
No, it's
I'm not
not
judging
judging, but you're right.
anybody
Here's the
for
deal.
having choosing that or feel compelled to do that.
Here's the deal. The conversation came up, and we talked about war, but about war, it's like why are we? And we're gonna, wrap it up here in a minute. You're right. Why are we worrying like that against one another? So yeah, that's for
Well,
sure.
why is that? It's the conditioning that
Yes.
recognizes, and it goes
Yes.
back to what you said about stop
Um,
searching for light because you embody it,
hmm
right? So
hmm
the conditioning is we need to separate these two people so they don't stand in their light. So because when you stand in your light, going back to those kids on the playground, they just want
Yeah.
to play. Like, oh hey, you have, oh, your skin is different than mine. I remember my niece, right? She was like, oh, I love your skin color, it's so pretty. And they were like holding their hands, and then it's
hmm
like, you want to go play in the sandbox? And that was literally the extent of
It.
it. And
Yes.
they were just, she was just so happy playing in the sandbox, and they were just playing with each other and giggling, and just like the light
I
just
know.
emitted from them. And
Oh my God.
they didn't chase any purpose other than just being with
Being
themselves and honoring the other being that was with them. We can get back to that.
that's what I'm saying. That is the authentic nature
And that's the
of
freedom.
existence. Yeah, and the
It's
freedom.
that
Yeah.
freedom that you talk about.
Yeah. 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 Oh man. So, oh man, that's
We're going to continue this conversation. Sorry
yeah.
if you heard some feedback in my audio there, those listening, because I feel like, because you said we're wrapping it up, right?
Yes, yes, darling.
I feel like the next conversation is, how do you get there? We talked about the importance of it. We talked a little bit about the barriers without actually saying these are the barriers, but we did talk about the barriers. I think in order to honor the continuation of this conversation, the importance of authenticity, because I think that's the whole point of spirituality.
Yeah,
I think I think the next conversation is, how do you get there? How do you find your way? And how do you stay there? Does that make, yeah.
that's the alchemy. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Don't
that'll
go
be the
back.
next
Yeah.
conversation. Potentially, I have another idea because you said something, and I'm gonna, because
Okay. Well, I tell you, this was really awesome. I thank you for always having conversations with me, my dear Oracle. I mean, it is it's just amazing. And to y'all out there, we thank you for listening. If you have anything you'd like to say or ask, just put it in the comments, subscribe, and we thank you for being here with us. It's important. The conversations need to be had, the responses that we would like to hear from you, and any questions that you may have. Um, it's an honor to be and express and to and even get high aha moments in the essence or the moment of sharing. So, and I look forward to seeing what you have to say in reference to that. So I want to thank y'all. I want to thank you for being here with us. Topic on authenticity, the spiritual aspect and the fineness of it. Um, I would like you to remember to subscribe. Again, comment in the comments if you have something to say, and let us know that you're here. We appreciate your being, and thank you so much. Anything you'd like to end with, my darling?
No, we just want to again thank you so much for guiding this conversation. I think it was a very important one. It's always important to talk about just being who we are. So as she said, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you again to those who are already subscribed. We really do appreciate you. We're trying to reach a goal of 1,000 subscribers in the next 6 months, hitting that marker. But hey, if we get it sooner than that, but once we get to that point, we'll be able to do much more interactive, integrative type of experiences and conversations on our channel. But until we get there, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, share the video, comment down below. I'm going to make it very simple because I think this is a delicate conversation. I just want you to, what color heart do you feel reflects your authentic expression of yourself? Have all these different color hearts, right?
Yes,
What
we do.
color is your heart? What speaks to you? Comment that down below. And comment whatever the hell you want to comment because you can authentically express yourself any way you want to in the comments. We do ask that you are respectful and be in alignment with your authentic soul, divine expression self.
That right there.
All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next video.
Much love.
Bye.
Peace.